It's doing well. I got to go through my preliminaries, do my checks and balances and stuff like that. As I forgot to go ahead and expand my screen. I want y'all to see how the sausage is made. Every once in a while, I get caught slipping. You know what I mean? Now, if this is your first time joining the show, first of all, welcome to the show. This is Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. Boy, I tell you, it gets harder every day. Man, to make sense out of all of this nonsense that's going around. But hey, I give it a shot. And I think at the end of the day, us sensible people, we can understand that there's a lot of nonsense out there. And some people major in nonsensicology. I'm a nonsensology major. There you go. Somebody said, hey, from Cincinnati, what's going on? All right. So we got some people checking in, and I'm assuming y'all can hear what I'm saying. All right, from Detroit. Okay, Detroit, Michigan. Oh, yeah. So if y'all can hear me, then we might as well go ahead and get loose then. Much love from Arizona, one of the hottest places I've ever visited. Oh, Germany? Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, man. That's right. PhD in mentity. That's right. A lot of people out there, man, their mentity is all the way blew out. And we're going to go ahead and touch on some of that tonight, starting off with, of course, the current person that they got occupying the White House. But but before we get to that bum, we're going to go ahead and get to what we didn't get to last night, y'all. Oh, man, we about to go ahead and check out a squabble on CNN. I don't know if y'all saw it the other night, but just in case you didn't see this little interview between Stefanik and Collins, then you're in for a treat. And then, of course, even if you did, you didn't see it with my commentary. So you ain't see it with my commentary with me refereeing and fixing the fights and all of that stuff. So with no further ado, let me go ahead and get loose, y'all. I rock the planet. Beating my chest like real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some humans in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, if this is your first time joining the show, I got me a corner store, y'all. You can go and check it out. Those who've been watching the show, y'all already know. So you can go ahead and check out the corner store too. Buy all kind of stuff with myself and, some of the little slogans that I always have and all that stuff. And then, of course, who that's laying down on the floor, but I can't say his name. I might give y'all a cameo at the end of the show. But definitely, that would be greatly appreciated. Also, this number 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, just in case the YouTubes get mad at me for picking on the Democrats and unexist me, then we'll be able to at least stay connected. And then finally, if you guys desire to support my channel some other ways, then I do run a monthly fundraiser, which the link is right below this video. It's very simple. Just click on it and drop a couple nickels in there if you want. It helps the channel keep going and growing. Now, with that being said, y'all, let's get ready to rumble. Now, these two, I think, might have met up before in a quick squabble. I can't remember who Stefanik was squabbling with the last time. I think it was the same person. And if it is, she might have won it round two. Now, let me think. Was it her? Whoever it was, it doesn't matter. Punks step up to get beat down. That's what it comes down to. Punks step up to get beat down. Now, what gives our champion the advantage? Simple. Truth. There you go. If you argue with these liberals with truth and facts, you always will win. If you're prepared with truth and facts, the Democrats can't come back from that. They can't. They're sitting there just trying to wing it and throw out stuff. And she is, the last fight, she came out so squeaky clean that the Democrats had to come out and do a press conference. You know what? By the way, thank you so much, Mousy. They had to come out and do a press conference. We didn't like what she said. She's supporting insurrectionists. We should censor her. And that's what lets you know when you're real effective. When you're a real champ, everybody wants to shout at the title. See, when you're out there doing damage, That's when you start getting called out. That's when you start getting attacked. And that's when you know who is the MAGA Republicans versus the rhinos. You don't hear them attacking Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham. They be praising those guys. But the ones they hate and try to trash and destroy their name and reputation, and every time they talk to them, it's always, but did you support that Donald Trump and his white nationalism? And why didn't you condemn the J6 thing? And all of the stupid stuff you hear come out of their big fat chops every time they put a mic in a Republican's face. Yeah, that shows you that these people are the threats. So now she goes back on this network and they're like, okay, we got another shot at her. Go out there and try to dethrone her. She's 0-0 right now. She's 0-0, period. No, wait, she's 1-0. There it is. She's 1-0 on the fake news networks. So here she go again, man. She's back for more. She's back for more. Let's go ahead and see how this one ends. Ding! Oh, yeah. Now, wait a minute. Y'all know the rules. There are none. Fight until the fight is over. I want to see somebody knocked out. I want to see somebody land in the middle of the ring with the REM sleep. Rapid eye movement. Looking up at the ceiling. All right. So let's get it.
I'm just curious what it says to you about the U.S. that the Supreme Court is even hearing an argument like this about a former president and whether or not he violated the insurrectionist clause.
Now look at that, Jim. She came out with a low blow. Man, she thought that Stefanik wouldn't see that one coming and tried to come out with the passive-aggressive attack. Simply asking a question as if it's just, a curiosity. But we all know that it was a punch behind that curiosity. Let's see how Stefanik handles this. So now you see her? You see the raggedy commentator with the hit piece already? I'm just curious. No, you rehearsed this. Y'all all sat back there when you was rapping your hands and stuff. All right, what you gonna do? You gotta come out and hit her hard because she's tough. She's tough. She's gonna punch you in the mouth if you're not careful. So now she comes out and tries to say, I'm just curious, what does it even say? When, we shouldn't even be having this. What she's trying to say is Trump is so out of the norm. We shouldn't even be having this. Yep, shouldn't even be having this. We shouldn't even be having, somebody said that dude sounds like a lady. Yeah, she do got the jaw that competes with mine right about now. But nonetheless, she's trying to suggest that Trump is such an anomaly when it comes down to the norm that doesn't it say a lot that the Supreme Court has to even discuss whether Trump should be on the ballot or not? So therefore, instead of letting the Supreme Court come out and make a definitive decision and embarrass all of these people who are the real insurrectionists and who are the ones that's fighting against democracy, let's get a jump on it. Let's get a jump on it. Let's try to say, well, even if the Supreme Court does say that we should keep him on the ballot, what does it say that this discussion needs to even happen? Doesn't that automatically imply that Trump is controversial? Trump is such a rebel. Trump is such a insurrectionist that it had to even come to this? It came to this because of her and the folks that control her and her network and the Democrats. That's why it came to this. It should have never came to this. That's the point. So now she's in the ring thinking, I'm going to slide this one in to see if I can catch her with a little quick, low blow. Let's see how she responds.
Well, it shows that the left and the Democrat Party and Joe Biden's campaign, they know they're going to lose at the ballot box.
A block and a slap. Yeah, she didn't even close the glove. She kept it open. Yeah, block. Cross the face. Boy, how did she like those green apples? Wow, I tell you, she responded viciously. Collins thought she can pull some garbage off on her, and she blocked that and slapped her with an open hand. Well, I don't know if she's going to make it through this fight, Jim. I really don't. Let's see. So now, here she comes out and lets her know off grip. What that means is that y'all scared of Trump. And y'all are corrupt, and y'all are abusing your power while claiming that you're protecting democracy and you're defending, all of this garbage. But in reality, you're trying to go ahead and undermine it all. So now I love the fact that she gets to the nitty gritty. She gets to the center of the heart. She knows this woman is setting her up. You don't go on CNN if you're a real Republican and assume it's going to be, a sensible debate. They're really going to be asking questions and trying to get to the bottom of it. Yeah, you automatically have to understand I'm going into a hostile environment and there's nothing I can say that will make this woman say, good point. That's a good point. Actually, well spoken, well spoken. There's nothing. I don't care how much evidence she comes out with. I don't care how many facts, all of this stuff. She's programmed. Collins is programmed to try to undermine her. Yeah, that's her whole job. That's what they're paying her to do. So she knows that. And that's why Collins' tactics aren't working. She automatically have to understand that this woman is an assassin. She's coming out trying to do a hit piece. She's going to be hostile. Anything that I say to her, she's going to act like it goes in one ear and out the other and be already ready for her next question, her next statement, her next interruption, all of these things. And if Republicans approach dealing with the media and any debate they ever have with a Democrat, if they ever get it in their heads that these people will never, ever, ever tap out. They're not there to meet you halfway. They're not there to negotiate. They're not there to see your point. They are there to destroy you, period. Unless you're on their squad. There is no in between. There is no let's go. That's why I can't stand when Republicans try to negotiate with the Democrats over major issues, constitutional things, like the border. There should be no negotiation. Close that sucker down. There it is. I want it airtight, period. Don't be talking about some 5,000, because then it'll turn to 10. You know, if you give them an inch, you know the Dems, they're going to take a whole country mile. That's why I don't like when they talk about gun legislation. All right, we're willing to concede on this. I'm like, Whenever you give them a little bit, they're like rats. That's why I call them Democrats. If a rat gets his nose into something, it'll eventually squeeze his whole body in there. So she understands that basic principle. And she came out like, okay, I'm going to show you right now what kind of fight you in, okay? Yeah, you think you're dealing with a rhino. Nah, baby.
Which is why you're seeing lawfare, you're seeing witch hunt after witch hunt, court case after court case, going after Joe Biden's top political opponent, which is Donald Trump. And today was a very bad day for Joe Biden. It was a
Now she goes on the offense. She's like, yep, witch hunt after witch hunt. Let me go ahead and call out your true motive. That's the worst. That is the worst. When you think you got some ammunition and your opponent says, I know exactly what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're doing. You're going to go ahead and throw the lazy left and then try to come back with an overhand haymaker with a broke wrist. And watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to block that lazy left. Then I'm going to block that haymaker and give you an uppercut right to the chops. That's what I'm going to do. See, when they call it out, they're like, man, I remember when I played high school football and my coach, man, he was one of them smash mouth football guys, run the same play, over and over again. It used to mess with me when I hear the defense like, all right, man, hey, it's toss left. And I'm going, how'd they know that? Man, dang on it. Well, they're just going to have to stop it. But they would be calling it out. Yeah, it's toss left, and lead right. And I'm sitting there like, dang on it, they know what we're about to do. That's what she knows. She knows this woman is coming with this kind of garbage. So she's ready for it. Let's go ahead and continue because now she goes on the offense. Oh, and I like her office.
very bad day in court for the left. It was a very bad day for the Colorado bogus court case. It was a very good day.
Now look at that style. Look at that technique, Frank. I mean, she went ahead and dropped a couple extra jabs in there by labeling the Colorado Supreme Court as bogus, which she also probably could have said that CNN is bogus too. And you as a bogus commentator, because the bottom line is these are the people who celebrated these raggedy Supreme Court people and these people in, Colorado, and what was the other joint that they tried to pull that mess in? And the lady was like, oh, wait, okay, all right, look, we're going to keep him on the ballot. It was Colorado and some other, Maine, thank you. Yeah, see, these people were celebrating that. These were the people who were cheering it on. These were the people who was hoping that it would stick. Now, all of a sudden, it's coming down to the decision of the Supreme Court, and they all are starting to prepare for a smackdown, hopefully, unless something crazy happens. So now what she's doing is also preparing them for the beatdown and connecting them to that crazy idea. Yeah, she's like, the Supreme Court was bogus. The Democrats was bogus. And here's what they are up to. So just in case one or two people happen to be watching CNN, they're going to know that she knows what this whole garbage is really about. Don't try to legitimize it by intellectually talking to them and sparring back and forth about the 14th Amendment, you know, that it does say. Just call them out. Just say, you know what, man, this is a witch hunt. This is what you guys are up to. This is why y'all are doing it. Same thing with the J6 thing. All of these things. So with that being said, let's continue because she's on the offense now. Let's see how Collins responds.
For President Trump, and it was a good day for the Constitution and the American people. The American people are going to make this decision in November, not radical bureaucrats from the state of Colorado, not radical judges or far-left prosecutors.
Oh, my. Now, that was a wonderful response right there. She went ahead and laid it out nice and plain. Now, Collins right now had to back up after getting punched in the nose. She's in the corner right now contemplating her whole life with her dukes up. So I guess she's going to come out now because they're probably in her ear like, all right, look, all right, the first round went to her. Go back out there and let's go with the windmill technique. Yeah, just start winding that sucker up just like this, the windmill. So let's see the windmill style and see if that works.
But even though it's Republican and independent voters who brought this lawsuit in Colorado.
And you see that? You see her try to get a rabbit punch in? See that? Yeah. Gonna wrap her up and then tap her on the shoulder. So even though there was Republicans and Democrats who brought this lawsuit, so what, we're supposed to respect it now because you found a couple raggedy rhinos to prostitute themselves? That's supposed to legitimize it? That's what she thinks that we don't see this as an audience. I saw her style. I saw the windmill coming from, I'm sitting in the audience. I'm like, well, you know what? She's about to come with the windmill. Yeah. Soon as the bell rings, she already got it up here like this, telegraphing it. I'm like, I know exactly what you're about to do. So she comes out and she tries to slide that in there. Even though Democrats and Republicans brought this lawsuit. What does that mean? You act like Republican voters don't understand the difference between MAGA Republicans and rhinos. And they understand it too. That's why they always label certain Republicans MAGA Republicans versus traditional Republicans. And then sometime when they're really feeling froggy, ultra MAGA. These ultra MAGA, these far radicalized, there's a small fringe part of the Republican Party that is, they even know the difference. They try to make the distinction all the time. So if they are trying to make that distinction, that lets me know that you guys know the difference between real Republicans and rhinos. So now y'all go and dig up a couple funky rhinos to go ahead and try to stop Trump, as if we haven't seen these people doing that since day one. Since day one. And then when y'all try to tout them out, look at this, Republicans did this and this was Republican whatever. And I'm going, so? Y'all act like all Republicans, are playing by the same notes. No, we're not Democrats, unfortunately. You know what they'll do? They stick together no matter what. So here she is trying to throw a rabbit punch.
I mean, I think that's an important part of this as well.
No, I don't. But let's see how Stefanik responds.
This is a witch hunt against President Trump, and it is not a coincidence that it is while President Trump is skyrocketing in the polls. Meanwhile, we saw a disastrous day for Joe Biden.
She brought her back to the center of the ring. And start pounding them ribs as Collins was going with that windmill every time one of them went up. Tenderizing those ribs and brought her right back to being on defense. She said, look, first of all, this is a witch hunt. I'm not going to let you kind of subvert that and get me caught up and wrapped up on the ropes and stuff like that. Nope, it's a witch hunt. Let's keep that front and center. Secondly, I'm going to put you on defense right about now by going ahead and calling out your raggedy candidate that you're out here prostituting yourself for. Because everybody knows that Creepy Joe had a horrific week. They need Tony the Tiger. Horrific week. Not great. Horrific week. So now she's going to put her on defense, and let's see if Collins can fight off her heels.
Biden started this week plummeting in the polls, the weakest polling for a modern-day president, an incumbent president, and yet you saw a feeble mental acuity lacking in the president of the United States just today. So this is a horrible day. It's a disastrous day for Joe Biden. It's a winning day for Donald Trump. And the Supreme Court case is likely to...
Wrap her up. You see? They're in the ear. Get out of there. Get out of there, Collins. Wrap her up. Wrap her up. Because Collins right now, reaching. You know you in a boxing match when you start reaching like you got paws or something. Yeah, you ain't even blocking that. You reaching and everything, taking them to the head. Right now, she's taking them to the face, trying to reach and lock her up. You hear the interruption come? They're in that ear right now. You already know it. Oh, get out of there. Get out of there. She's talking about Biden. She's talking about Biden. Yeah, now stick to the plan, champ. Stick to the plan. So let's see.
You have multiple liberal justices that side with the conservative justices in this case, siding for the Constitution.
So you think that the court here is going to rule and overturn the Supreme Court in Colorado's decision?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, you notice what she did? She tried to sidestep that attack on Biden. She tried to get back on the offense. So she's going to try to get Stefanik back to the center of the ring. Let's get back to this whole Colorado garbage and see what the Supreme Court, what are you talking about? So you think that that's the best you can do to slow her up? Going to try to go ahead and calm the fight down. All right, just get everybody calm, get back to the ring. You know? No. So here she's asking, you think that Supreme Court's going to side with that? Now, what she's doing is she's trying to set her up for a counter. Trying to make her seem like, all right, let's slow the fight down. All right, I'm just going to fill you out with a jab right here. But watch what she tries to do by asking this question.
Absolutely. And you heard questions, whether it was from Justice Elena Kagan, you heard multiple questions from the liberal justices who are likely, I believe this could be a 9-0, an 8-1, or a 7-2 case.
Here come the double trap. She's going to try to double trap her. She's going to try to get her caught up in that corner and reverse it and try to pound on Stefanik's ribs. Let's see.
So the next thing that the Supreme Court could potentially take up is the question of Donald Trump's argument, his assertion of presidential immunity. If you trust the Supreme Court's decision on the 14th Amendment, will you accept what they decide on presidential immunity as well?
Oh, she thinks she got her. She like, yeah, I set her up for that. Y'all see that? Y'all see how I did that? And while she's looking over at the audience, smiling at her corner, she's about to get her jaw broke. She's like this, and it's going to go just like that. That's what you're going to see. So here she is thinking that, so you think that they're going to side with, knowing that Stefanik is going to come out and say, absolutely. Because everybody thinks that this is going to happen. So now she's trying to double trap her by saying, now, since you are okay with the Supreme Court ruling on that, you think you're going to be okay with them ruling on the absolute immunity? Now, there's a high probability they won't rule on absolute immunity, but hey, that's okay. By that time, we'll be far gone along. Okay, we'd be like, all right, we can go ahead and move into the main election right now because Jack Smith is going to get his stuff pushed back, hopefully. Right about now, they are banking on two things. They're banking on Jack Smith and they're banking on Fat Fanny. And Fat Fanny is having a daisy of a time down there with her own situation right now. See, she couldn't keep her hand out the cookie jar. So there's a high probability that's going to fall through. And depending on when the Supreme Court finally takes that Jack Smith garbage up, we might see that even get pushed back. And they're hoping somehow that they can get a decision before, of course, the election takes place. Because I guarantee you, if Trump wins the election before they can get some bootleg conviction and go to trial on some of this garbage, I bet you all that stuff will go away. That's why a couple weeks ago, when it was announced that Jack Smith's case wouldn't be heard until the Supreme Court decided to hear it, what was interesting is that they was like, well, you know what? Let's take it off the docket indefinitely. Yeah, we're not even going to put a date just in case our main goal and objective fall through, which is trying to indict Trump before the wedding. Wedding. I'm thinking about a wedding because I'm thinking about some people. Anyway, so trying to indict Trump before the election. That's what they're hoping. If they can get an indictment before the election, then what they hope to do is discourage a lot of people from voting for him, which I still think that would backfire. Now, wouldn't that be a daisy? Wouldn't it be crazy if they say, all right, look at this, that's Super Tuesday or whatever, and Trump just got indicted. Yeah, it's amazing. I can't believe these people are still voting for him. People will still go out there and vote for him anyway. But they're hoping. They're putting all their chips on it. So now she's trying to double trap her. But watch what she does as a response to this. She embraces it. See, when she got hit, instead of going into it, she went with it. She went with it. So Caitlin Collins think I got a jab in there. But what's happening is Stefanik is going to go with it. So watch this.
Certainly, I will have something to say when the court makes that decision. But I already have put out a public statement. Of course, the president has presidential immunity. You can't handcuff a sitting president of the United States for future presidents to go after them. It would not allow them to do their job in their official capacity. So that was a wrong-headed decision. I expect the Supreme Court will overturn that as well.
The appeals.
See, so what she did is she made Collins think she gave her what she wanted. Absolutely. Now what? I'll honor it because in her mind, she's like, it won't matter anyway. It won't matter anyway. So yeah, sure, absolutely, I'll honor it. So now Collins thinks, well, God, I got her double trapped. No, you didn't. She just went with the blow. She went with it. Absolutely. Yeah. So Trump and him said that he feels he is going to get immunity. Yeah. And I support that. And it would be the same if they ruled, for whatever. And so let's see how Collins responds.
Court decision.
Yes.
Does that extend to President Biden? Do you think that he can do whatever and not get prosecuted as well?
Well, that's what the Trump campaign put out. They said this is a very slippery slope because it means that if you're of an opposing party, that you could go after your predecessor based upon policy disagreements or official acts. So that's why this is so egregious. And the reality is...
Now, see, here's the problem with this whole thing. I don't think anybody believes that there's nothing a president can do that they would ever be held accountable for. Now, you would hope that these things would take place during their presidency if they were that bad, where you can just impeach them, okay, go through that process. But if it's something that comes out after, they leave office, then that's the gray area. What has happened in this case is that the Democrats have abused the situation. I mean, we are looking at things that have never been done before in our country because they have to stop Trump. So instead of having a reasonable approach, knowing that, hey, Obama accidentally, well, I don't know if it was accident, but killed some innocent folks, but nobody's dragging him into court. Nobody's doing that. What about Bush? The whole thing with Bush. What about Hillary Clinton with Gaddafi and all of them? All of the crap that politicians have made decisions for that resulted in some horrific things, nobody's dragging them back into court for it. So now what they're trying to do is become hypersensitive about some made up garbage with Trump. They want to go after him and just fire all of this garbage. So now what she's trying to do is say, well, what if Joe Biden? What if Joe Biden did this? Now, if they would have left Trump alone, then there's a high probability that they wouldn't be so scared of retaliation. See, what's good for the goose has to be good for the gander. See, so what she's trying to do is say, well, look, if Trump gets off, that means Biden get off. But there's a high probability the Supreme Court is going to say, well, you can't have immunity for everything. Now, Trump becomes president, then that opens up the door also for them to say, well, good. I'm glad the Supreme Court went ahead and ruled on that. Can't have immunity for everything, huh? What about creepy sleepy's butt laundering money from over there in Ukraine? Yeah, I know that I thought I had absolute immunity, but that was then. That was then when y'all were trying to do the witch hunt on me. Y'all was trying to do the witch hunt on me. But now that the Supreme Court has ruled, let's see if Creepy can withstand the scrutiny of all of the corruption that he's been skirting by on. All of this garbage. I'm thinking to myself the other day, what is taking so long to release that audio tape that the FBI have of Creepy on a phone call somewhere, I guess trying to negotiate a hookup? Yeah. And I'm saying, nobody's going to release that. If I was Trump day one, as soon as I get in there, first thing I would do is confiscate every file, everything from the FBI. I'd be like, we're bringing that all to the White House, everything. All your equipment, everything. We want it all. All right, we're abolishing you. But before that, where's that audio tape? I will release that garbage. So we'll see what happens in regards to that. But what she tried to do is double trap her, and she didn't fall for it.
Caitlin, the issues that the American people are concerned about, they're concerned about the border, they're concerned about the inflation crisis, they're concerned about the lack of leadership from the sitting president of the United States, Joe Biden. That's why they're going to make the decision to vote for President Trump at the polls, and that's why you're seeing, despite lawsuit after...
No, y'all see Collins? Try to act like she's absorbing it? In her mind, she's like, okay, what's my next move? All right, what's my next propaganda statement? What's my next? Yeah, that's what she's doing. She is not thinking about what this woman's saying. She don't care about how the people have been expressing how horrible the Biden administration is, how horrible things are, how bad his poll numbers are. Her job is to come out there, destroy Trump, and defend Biden. So she's pretending to be listening to Stefanik, but no, she's not. She's sitting back listening to whoever is in that earpiece, talking about some, all right, when she finishes stating making this statement, here's what you're going to do. Matter of fact, you might have to interrupt her if she starts going too hard in on Biden.
After lawsuit, President Trump's numbers continue to go up because this is
Facts.
not a fair justice system right now. You see the justice system being weaponized against Joe Biden's top political opponent, and that's Donald Trump.
The scathing report, though, that came out today that you referenced on President Biden's handling of documents would suggest that it's not weaponized because it was quite brutal in its assessment. But if he had been
Selective
charged,
prosecution,
if he had been charged, would you?
Oh, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. She tried to slide in that garbage right there. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? So she's like, well, now, wait a minute. I hear what you're saying. So if Biden has such a horrible day, then what are you talking about that Trump's getting treated unfairly? Looks like Biden had a horrible, no, see, here's the difference. Biden still got off. Now, granted, it's probably going to be just as damaging based on a report that they wrote up exposing his mentity. However, there's probably a lot of people out there that ain't in their right mind, but they still held accountable for their decisions. I'm just saying. I'm sure Charlie Manson was in there talking about, I kill again if I get, helter skelter. I'm sure a lot of folks went in there and hit him with the, I ain't in my right mind. What? Chicken butt run. Okay, wait a minute. Now look at, you see them spiders on the wall? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people tried that mess in there. All right, that's the nice try, buddy. Yeah, I'm sure. So what she's trying to suggest is that, well, wait a minute. Y'all claim that, everybody's getting treated unfairly, but then you're saying that, look at this damning report. Well, I think it should be double for Joe's trouble. I think he should have got the damning report. And on top of that, he's an old, feeble man. He forgets almost everything. He has problems walking. He's unstable. He can't speak words, and he can't count. He doesn't know numbers anymore. But he's also guilty of all of these things. So we're going to go ahead and try this old, feeble man. And we're going to go ahead and hold this old, feeble man accountable as well. So they went ahead and cut him some slack on one end. And yet here she is talking about, well, it's equal. It's equal. No, it's unequal.
Would you make the argument that he shouldn't have been charged because he has
first of
presidential
all,
immunity?
if you look at what the special counsel said, it was a willfully not abiding by rules when it comes to classified information, willfully breaking the law. And the only reason they're not pursuing prosecution is because of the lack of mental acuity of the President of the United States. And this disastrous press conference.
Cooperate.
Do it in the butt. So now here she is coming out talking about, but they also, so now she's trying to make that raggedy distinction that all of them try to make when folks highlight what Joe has done with classified documents. As he gets out there and tried to lie and tell everybody, you know what, they didn't say that in the report, and they didn't say that I did this and that. And yes, they did. He had classified documents, top tier. All of the stuff that they said that this man did it supersedes what Trump did. You don't hear nothing about that. You don't hear Trump reading stuff to, his writer and all of that stuff. You don't hear that. You don't see Trump sitting there with classified documents from when he was a senator, all of that. So now she's trying to make a distinction, but she drug herself into a big punch to the nose. Well, she's talking about what, the Trump, this and that. No. This man is guilty of everything and worse than what they're accusing Donald Trump of. And now here she is going to try to go ahead and reverse this by coming in and saying, but the difference is Donald Trump, he can't. Somebody said, you give me credit for watching MSNBC. Yeah, it's tough, but this CNN, but they both the same. They pretty much. What she's trying to do is say, but the difference is Donald Trump, he didn't cooperate.
It's specifically because of the mental acuity that was pointed out in the document. That's why you saw a panicked White House forced out a doddering, unfit President of the United States for a disastrous press conference to try to clean it up.
I don't know if she can get up from that. I don't know that. You see Collins? She did her best. You know what? Could it be because Donald Trump didn't cooperate and Biden did? So let me understand. Unless you are cooperating for the feds to get a bigger fish so you can get some leniency, then that shouldn't matter. What are you talking about? Yeah, I broke the law, but I cooperated, so they let me completely off. Anybody ever seen that? If this is the new rule, there's two things that they have come up with special for Democrats. For Democrats. One, if you cooperate, then that means you're free. Number two, if you didn't mean to do it, that means you walk free. So let me get this straight, y'all. Kev, right now, instead of asking y'all for donations after my show, tomorrow, I'm just going to say, well, you know what? I'm going to live like a Democrat. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to live like a Democrat. I want some of that Democrat privilege. I like privilege. So now I'll just roll up into Fifth Third Bank, somewhere like that. Everybody on the ground, give me all the money. I want all the money. Yeah, like I'm out in California or something. Give me all the money. And stuff it down my pants like the kid in my show last night. Run to my car with all the money in the bottom of my pants. Jump in my man truck and take off. When they catch me, yeah, those are my arguments. I'm going to be like, look, I'm willing to cooperate, okay? You got me. I did it. Yeah. Man, the money's in the back of the man truck. Wow. It was stupid of me because I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it. Wow. He got us there, Johnson. He cooperated and he didn't mean to do it. It's going to be hard to prove that this man had intent when he ran into that bank with his guns out and told him, give me all the money. Yeah, we don't know what was really going on in his mind. It's going to be hard to prove it, even though the videotape shows him going, everybody on the ground, click, click. I want all the money right now. Even though that videotape shows all of Biden's stuff in that garage by his Corvette, even though this man moved that stuff from in his office out to the garage, where did he think he was moving? Didn't even know what it was. Picked up some strange boxes and moved it out to the garage. Yeah, even though all of that. So you're telling me we can't prove intent and the fact that he cooperated. Come on in and get it. So that goes back to my same analogy. Sure, you can take the money back. Yeah, it's right there in the back seat, man. Go ahead and grab it. Wow, he gave it back. We can't hold him accountable for this. Hey, why don't you scamper along and stay out of trouble, young man? Thank you. Thank you very much. That's the logic that the Democrats are trying to make us believe. And they're saying that we're not looking at a two-tier justice system. And I'm saying, wow, I'm sure Trump would love that type of justice. But hey, here she is. She's like, you know what? I'm not gonna let you tie me up on the ropes. I'm going to still give it to you right now because I'm not finished tenderizing your ribs.
And it only did more damage. The reality, Caitlin, is Donald Trump is going to win this November, and Democrats are spiraling out of control because they see that Joe Biden continues to plummet. His polls are going to go down much further tomorrow based upon that horrific press conference today. And it's selective prosecution. The fact that it's not even a slap on the wrist when the prosecutor himself, the special counsel himself. But
here we go. Yeah, selective prosecution. I mean, that's an argument Trump can have. He can go to court, man, like, look, man, you understand this man right here had classified documents since he was a senator, and when he was a vice president, which there's no way he could declassify documents as a vice president, but yet y'all are trying to lock me up on some bogus crap by saying I didn't cooperate, even though Trump was cooperating. They tried to hit him with the okie doke. Hey, Mr. Trump, we're here to talk about these classified documents. Sure, what do you want to talk about? Well, we were hoping that maybe we can get some of those back sometime, or once you go through them, decide which. Oh, sure, no problem. Yeah, you know what? I got some time to work with. If you need something, let me know. Oh, sure, no problem. Hey, you know what you could do? How about you just put a lock on that one door? Oh, that's all you want me to do? Just put the lock? And then I'll wait to hear from you when it comes down to that. Oh, yeah, no, you're good. Walk right out of there, went back up to Washington. All right, now, get the subpoena. We're going to go ahead and breach any second now. What if we just talked about, you know, you could have called me. You know that, right? No. You showed resistance. You weren't cooperating. That's what they're trying to pull. Yeah, they're trying to pull the Michael Flynn. Go in, lower your suspicions. Hey, Mike, how you doing over here as you transition into the White House? Well, I'm good. What are you guys doing here? Oh, I thought we were on our way to Subway for a 12-inch sandwich. That sounded really like Jesse Smollett's story. Is it? Oh, he wanted us. Okay, well, then we were on our way to get some chocolate chip. And then we stopped in and saw Michael Flynn and said, "Hey, Mike, how you doing?" That's all. Do I need a lawyer? For what? No. What, for what, Mike? Baby, no. Nah, man, hey, but listen, I do got some questions for you. Then later on, Michael Flynn is under investigation for lying to, and I'm going, wow, these cats are sneaky. That's what they on. They on some trying to entrap you. Go ahead and say, no, we're good. Yeah, you good. Hey, take your time. Next you weren't fast enough. So now we're indicting you. These cats are corrupt, and that's why the deep state got to go. Soon as Trump gets in, whoever he brings into his cabinet, they need to be prepared to shut down the intel community almost immediately, lest they pull another Michael Flynn.
Don't you think that if Donald Trump,
we're not prosecution?
But they talked, a big part of this is that President Biden went and sat down with them for 2 days, over the course of 2 days. Obviously, that's the interview that you're talking about, where they talked about his age. Donald Trump hasn't cooperated. Don't you just think if he had cooperated, he could be in the same situation?
This is at the behest of Joe Biden.
But if he had cooperated, don't you think he could be in the same situation?
First of all, there's a difference here.
What does she mean by cooperated? This is what kills me. When they come out with this garbage, you think if he would cooperate, they didn't call the man. They didn't. That mean he finds out that they're raiding his crib out of nowhere. Yeah, they didn't even give him a chance to cooperate. Maybe mention a couple things, knowing that he's busy, knowing that maybe in his mind he's thinking one thing, and they're making him think that. Like, oh no, we're still working with you. This is a negotiation. A negotiation. That's what this is. And then all of a sudden you hear that you're under an investigation. You're like, what the heck? And not to mention, all of the other presidents before you are sitting on classified documents. But you somehow fall into a special category for investigation and indictment. And you want us to believe this ain't a witch hunt? Y'all ain't brewing something special up for Trump? Talking about, well, you think if he would have cooperated? That's supposed to make us think that, well, that's a distinction between Biden and Trump. And that's so big, so drastic. What that makes me think is that you're trying to feed me doo-doo and tell me it's chocolate. For the simple fact, you want me to forget about the fact that Biden is guilty of the very thing you're accusing Trump of, and you're trying to excuse it based on trying to say, well, he cooperated. So that means drop everything because he cooperated. Everything. I would have used my little police bank robbing scenario right there in front of her on that set. Okay, so I could go rob a bank. They catch me, give the money back and cooperate, and then tell them, hey, I wasn't in my right mind. I don't know what I was thinking when I went in there. You can't prove intent. And see what the dummy says.
President Trump has, according to the Presidential Records Act, he has declassification authorities. Joe Biden does not have that when he was vice president.
Oh, bing, right to the chin. Right now, she's on the ropes. That one brought her off her feet on the ropes. And as she bounces back, she's going to bounce back into a straight right.
States. Joe Biden also had classified documents when he was a sitting senator.
Oh, so she's on the ropes. See, it's when you make it stink. You got to make it stink. When they're coming in and it's the double impact. See, yeah, give them one of these and then say, now come on back to me. Come on back to me. There it is. That. Oh, so now I wonder what Rockjaw over here got to say about that. Sitting up there with that block jaw talking about some, what? President Biden, he cooperated. What about that? What do you think about that? Well, that rock jaw's about to get shattered. She came out and hit him with, look, how do you explain this? That man had classified documents since he was a senator. Let's see who's in her ear. Like, okay, just ignore that part. Let's keep going.
That is not covered by the Presidential Records Act. So to say...
I've read the Presidential Records Act. It also doesn't give Trump the authority.
Well, obviously you didn't, Rockjaw. Obviously you didn't. Okay. Because if that was the case, you would have stopped in your tracks right there. What? He had classified documents for me as a senator, but that makes him automatically guilty. Because there is no negotiating that. There is no discussions of, a senator can. No, that's automatic guilt. But yet she just bounced over that. I read the Presidential Act. Well, apparently you didn't read it too well. And then she's going to try to come out here and say, and that doesn't mean Trump can declassify him from. Then how do you explain Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and the rest of them?
Authority to just take documents and keep them in a vault.
This was a raid on Mar-a-Lago, Caitlin, versus working with Joe Biden and saying he willfully broke the law but refusing to prosecute.
But
it
that's
is selective
my point.
prosecution.
That's my point, because Trump did not hand over the documents for more than a year. Jim Trusty could tell you.
Oh, you hear that? That's my point. That's my point. Trump did not hand over the documents for a whole year. So Joe's 20 or 30 years, it doesn't matter? Just because I just discovered him 30 years later. Been riding past these boxes for like the last 15, 20 years and had no idea what it was. And then one day I'm on my way out to the beach with my skitty, my thing right here that I drag, my little chair, lawn chair that I can barely carry. Yeah. I'm on my way down to the beach and I said, hey, I wonder what's in these boxes. Cracked them open and said, classified documents. Oh my goodness. Better tell the feds to come get this stuff. That's what she wanted us to believe. And Trump had him for a year and they want to lock this man up. Biden had his for like 20 some years. And you want us to believe that man had no idea he was rocking. And yet the report said he knew. He knew that he had those classified documents. It was willful. So why didn't he give them back 20 years ago? That's my question. Do you see the logic? Do you see the lazy fighting style of the left? This is one of the worst fighting styles ever. You come out here with no ammunition, no form, nothing, no cardio, no leg work, nothing. And you trying to fight with this garbage. But that Trump kept it for a whole year. Biden kept his for like 20 something years. So now what? That's all you got? That baby tap, that love tap you gave me with that one?
Oh, yeah. From the DOJ, from Joe Biden's DOJ, ordered by Merrick Garland not to prosecute against Joe Biden, even though it specifically found that he willfully broke the law.
It was an
and on top of that, the
counsel.
reason.
Look at her. She is at the independent special counsel. Just anything she can. Just right now, she's swinging wild, y'all. She's up against the ropes. This is her last ditch effort. Hoping she connect with the individual counsel. The individual counsel, when they wrote the report, Mayor Garlick is the one that released the report. So what are you talking about? Just anything to interrupt her, anything to kind of try to get her off balance, anything to just muddy the water so people can't clearly hear the point that Stefanik is making. So it's let me keep chiming in. And it would annoy me. Imagine watching a movie where the dialogue is being spoken by one character and the other character. But then you know what? Well, what about when you did? And you're going, you know what? I'm hearing multiple conversations. I'm trying to hear what this person's saying. This right here is a raggedy tactic. This is that tactic where it's like, let me go ahead and try to go tie them up and, do all this crazy stuff and distract everybody to show them that I'm really losing. So I'm going to keep doing little things to try to make it look like I'm working, but I ain't really working. I ain't really throwing no punches. I'm not really getting any work. I'm just shuffling my feet, running around the ring, a whole bunch of head bobs and all of that mess to distract you. That's all it is. So here she is, what about that? And it was an individual. What? She gonna continue doing it too.
The reason why they're not prosecuting is because they say he's mentally unfit to put in front to pursue that. That is unheard of, and it is selective prosecution. And it's why people inherently know across this country, if your last name happens to be Biden or Clinton, you get to live by a different set of rules than every average Americans.
I think Hunter Biden would disagree with that, and I will note.
You know what? I can't. All right, now this is the moment where, honestly, I want to see a knockout. And even though she's been beat up the last 6 or 7 rounds, I want to see more. I want to see more damage. What about you, Frank? Absolutely. I want to see her head get completely spun around like in a cartoon and come back down. That's what I want to see. So now here she comes out and got the nerve to bring up Hunter Biden. And it's amazing. See, this is what I mean by the truth. Destroying these people, because everybody knows that Hunter Biden had a sweetheart deal. They did everything possible to spare this dude. And you're trying to make it seem like they came out the gates with this indictment and conviction. You think we're dumb. You think that we haven't seen the progression of the Hunter Biden saga. All right, you know what? Your Honor, I just want you to sign this piece of paper right there. Okay, well, what is this? Oh, it's nothing. It's just, a couple of formalities. What did you say? Forever immunity. Did you say forever immunity from any future crimes? What? No, I was singing a Prince song. Give him all his future crimes, girl. From the Bat Dance. You remember that, right? No, I think you're talking about immunity for future crimes. I better read it. The fine print. Try to pull a fast one. You act as if we didn't see that. What took so long to even get after this dude? Yeah, and here she is. Well, I think Hunter Biden would disagree with that. Hunter Biden's still running around somewhere. So what are you talking about? That's a horrific example to try to bring up. But she's hoping that the people watching don't know the truth. See, you could slide that in to people who don't know the truth. They probably think Hunter is just a target of political persecution.
Hunter Biden got a sweetheart deal. Let's talk about that.
He's been indicted by the
corruption of the Biden
Hunter Biden was indicted. And he's got a special counsel. This was a special counsel.
And then got a sweetheart deal from Joe Biden's DOJ.
I want to talk about you because I think
I wanna change the topic. I wanna. You hear that? She was getting that jaw broke over the Hunter Biden comment that she made because that was the dumbest thing to bring up. I know Stefanik was like, oh, no, she didn't bring up her. Oh, she want to get beat up. I'm about to give it to her now. She was doing a workshop on her with that. Hunter Biden got the sweetheart deal. Can you believe you want this? Yeah. So she like, wait. I should have brought that up. You know what I want to talk about? I want to change stuff there. Let's talk about something else.
In a lot of your public appearances and your public comment, the resolutions that Republicans are introducing on Capitol Hill that you're a part of, people want to know if you're auditioning to be Donald Trump's vice president. Have you handed over any documents or been a part of any vetting process with the Trump team yet regarding that?
Oh, here we go. So she gonna switch it up, try to slow the fight down, make her think I'm your friend. Ask you a couple questions about, vice president. When y'all lock up, you're in the ear like, hey, take it easy. Listen, man, we don't, hey, look, we ain't got to go this hard, okay? Let's just go ahead and dance around a little bit. Make them, get the people a show. No, get off me. And we're fighting to the end. That's right. Yeah, this is for keeps. So now she's going to try to soften her up by asking her about vice president, expectations and all of that stuff. Let's see how she handles it.
I'm proud to be one of the top surrogates for President Trump. I voted for President Trump in 2016. I was proud to work with him. I've worked with him on his impeachment defense team when the first witch hunt started against him, perpetrated by the Democrats and Adam Schiff.
She's taking no prisoners. She's like, you think you're going to back me up with some garbage? Dad, why don't you tell us about your vice president hopeful, maybe goals and stuff like that? Oh, while I'm telling you that, I'm going to go ahead right back to the witch hunt from Democrats. Adam Schiff, all of these people, all of the people you serve, all of the people y'all bring on your network still to this day. All of those liars, all of those leakers, Hillary Clinton, all of them. I'm going to be doing a show on that tomorrow, highlighting all of these dirty behind Democrats. It's going to be entitled, Who in the World Would Vote for Democrats? They are the worst. It's amazing that people vote for them. Amazing. But here she is making sure that Collins realized that, no, we're still in a fight. We're not going to sit back and dance around and get me off topic talking about some vice president stuff. I'm going to tell you about your nasty, stinking party that you defend and that is in the same cahoots with you when it comes down to your propaganda and goals and agenda to stop Trump.
And I'm proud to be a top surrogate. I would proud to serve in a future Trump administration, but we have a lot to do. I have a lot of responsibility as the House Republican Conference Chair, and most importantly, as the representative for New York's 21st Congressional District, giving them a seat at the highest level. And we're focused on the issues that matter to the American people. The border crisis, which is raging across our country. House Republicans passed a border security bill. Joe Biden has failed. In fact, he has caused this border crisis.
Here it comes. Here comes the counter. Now, she's on the offense. And Collins right now, her jaw's already on the canvas. She don't even have one right now. She's jawless. She's out there with nothing but the uppers. She's like this. Right now, she's out there with nothing but the fronts up there. Her nose is completely on the backside of her head. Everybody is like, all right, am I looking at her face or her back of her hair? I don't know. The nose is back here, but the mouth is up there. One eyeball is down here, and one eyeball is up here. Yeah, one of them hanging out the socket. Her esophagus is twisted from getting punched in the neck. All of these beat downs she done took, and here she goes trying to go. You would think she would just lay down and go to sleep in the middle of the ring. Like, wait, what's going on here? She seems to be just laying down. Is she taking a nap? Did she pull out the stocking cap? Wow, I've never seen anything like this, Jim. She put the black shades on and everything. Just went to sleep in the middle of the ring. You would think that's what she would do after getting beat down like this. So now Stefanik is like, I ain't done. I'm going to stomp you into the dang on ring. I want you becoming a part of the ring. She's giving it to her. You can tell she tried to call quits with the whole vice president garbage. But Stefanik is like, I came to give the people what they want. Got to give the people. Yeah, and I'm loving it because I came to see a beatdown. Got to give the people what they want, which I want to see Collins get beat into the canvas. So that's what she's giving her. And what she's doing, waking up out of a slight coma, talking about, what? Oh, okay. The Republicans are the build it. And now she's about to get it even more.
So, I mean, the Republicans in the Senate.
We passed a border bill.
Right, one that was never going to pass a Democratic.
We passed a border bill, and you and I both know how difficult it has been historically for a border bill to come together. Yes, we just saw what happened with Republicans on Capitol Hill. House Republicans passed a border bill that Joe Biden opposed.
I want to talk about the vice
I bet
president.
you do.
Is because of Joe Biden's executive action. HRT
He's a Democratic president.
And Joe Biden opposed that.
Right, because it was Trump era immigration
The reason why
policies,
he opposed it is because he wants a wide open border, which is what his executive actions cause.
Oh my goodness. See, it's hard to talk when your jaw's broke. It's hard to talk when your whole lower half of your jaw is on the dang on canvas. Yeah, when you're seeing 3 or 4 Stefaniks right there. I don't know which one. They're all over the place. Am I getting jumped? No, it's just one person. It's just one person. So here she comes back with all of that garbage, and Stefanik won't let it slide. Well, the Republicans won't do the and they won't even sign. Now we all know. Why won't they just tap out? Why won't these fake news folks just realize that Biden broke the border? Why are y'all even defending this? You got people across the whole nation that knows the Biden administration is responsible for this. Folks are mad and angry, and that's probably why you're still trying to defend it. Because you know people that normally wouldn't even pay attention to the border crisis, and if they did, it would be from the perspective of, oh, you got the right-wing people talking about immigration again. They're xenophobes. But now that this crisis has reached, the level that it has, and it done showed up in the hood, and in all these cities where Democrats live, now that's a problem. And Caitlin Collins is trying to come out and bait and switch. So Stefanik won't let her off the ropes. Now she want to talk about something else. I don't want to talk about that now. Yeah, it's like a kid who don't want to hear something. La 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 la, I can't hear. La, 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 la. No, pop your fingers out your ears. We're not done having this conversation yet.
He was willing to shut the border down, but
and he has the executive authority to do so. He has the executive authority to do so. No, I'm not.
I'd like to return to my question.
I'm not allowing you to just say something that's factually not true. He has the.
Oh, this is beautiful. You know what? I always said to myself, before I leave this planet, I want to see a perfect fight. I want to see one of them beat downs where you're happy to watch it and sad to watch it at the same time. Where you're going, oh, man, I can't look away, but I can't look at the same time. I'm like, oh, so brutal, beautiful. So as she tries to pivot and run around the ring away from this, Stefanik's chasing her from behind, hitting her in the back of the dome as she's running. See, I want to talk about this no more. You can't be in the middle of the ring talking about I don't want to fight no more. You know what? I don't like the way you beat me up. You know what? Can you switch up your style a little bit? No. So she grabs her by the cheeks and like, well, no. See, what I'm not going to let you do is change the topic and push out these lies. And then try to talk about something. You're getting off topic. Says who? You the one brought up the border. As she was mentioning some of the things that the Biden administration should be doing This chick tries to come in, run cover for them. And then when she starts getting beat up, I don't want to talk about that no more. And guess what? You trying to switch topics. I am. No, I'm trying to prevent you from spewing out lies and untruth. And this is what kills them. When you know the truth, when you come equipped and you going, man, you think I don't know your goal? And you think I'm sitting here thinking, well, maybe Kaylin Collins probably is fair and balanced when it comes down to the border crisis. Maybe she's rational. Maybe a couple, statements and little nuggets of facts I could throw out there would make her say, oh, thank you for sharing. She don't care about none of this stuff. And when it starts coming out and damaging the narrative for the Democrats, she does what she's programmed to do, what she's paid to do. Interrupt, lock her up, all of these things, switch it up. So now she's talking about, but I don't want to talk about that no more. La, 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 la.
Executive authority right now to end catch and release. He has the executive authority right now
And
to
Congress
close the
has
border.
the ability to pass legislation.
And we did.
But
And
let's
House
talk about
Republicans-
the vice president.
Oh, everything she's throwing is getting blocked. She's like, foop, foop, pop. Just like that. And Congress had the ability to pass this. Yeah, you know what? We did. We passed the bill in the House. See, she's killing her. Facts, man. Yeah, and you could barely, she's drowning her out. Like she's one, maybe 5 steps ahead of her. It's beautiful to watch, man. Beautiful. This is one of the best exchanges ever, man. So she's like, well, Congress got to pass it. Yeah, we did. How about that now? What? Huh? Yeah. See, there you go. Just punch you in your teeth. Now you got one tooth left.
Nancy, because you just said that you would be willing to serve in a Trump administration.
She's back to VP.
Had you been vice president on January 6, 2021, what would you have done?
There it is. That was the whole goal for asking about her being VP. Now we're coming down to her last technique. This is the last round. And they're like, yo, champ, you got to go out there and try to knock her out. Because she done beat you up for like 9 rounds. For a second, we thought you was dead. And then when you kind of like twitched a little bit, we was thinking about throwing the towel, but then we was like, you know what, maybe she'll get up and continue for the prostitution money. So go out there and give it your all. Good luck. We'll be getting some Frosties and stuff during the last round because we don't want to see what's about to happen to you. So now here she is thinking that, she set up something earlier when she brought up the VP thing. All of that was designed so that she could then come back and put her in a situation where she says, now, I'm glad you said you would be a VP if you were asked. Would you have done the same thing on J6? Once again, everything goes back to J6. Any MAGA Republican that comes on their show, you know what they're going to try to tie you to. They're going to try to tie you to J6 and supporting Trump, an insurrectionist. You know it was coming. See, so hear that dirty tactic in trying to make it seem like I'm your friend. Girl, I heard you might be the VP. I'm so proud of you. Would you take that job if would you do it? Well, yeah, I would. Really? Well, what would you have done on J6 if you was the VP? That's what I want to know. She thinks she got her.
I stood up for the Constitution. I believe it was
What would you have done if you were vice president?
I would not have done what Mike Pence did. I don't.
Oh, that's why I love this woman. That's why I love her. She didn't back up. She didn't. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Hold up. She leaned into it. She think you think I'm gonna dodge that mess? I take your bullets, okay, man? That's all you got? Okay, you need an army to take me. Bring us some J6, man. Yeah. Who I trust? Trump, that's who. Who put this thing together, eh? Trump, that's who. We crush you like a cockroach, man. Crush you like a cockroach. I said I don't kill no CNN, man. I didn't kill no CNN, but you know what? You wouldn't listen. Look at you now. Look at you now, man. That's what she's doing to her. So she thought that she was going to be like, well, actually, I think Trump went overboard. I would have certified it and this and that. Nope. I wouldn't have did it. I wouldn't have did it. Do you understand the props that she got from me and almost probably everybody who watched this interview? This a person who's been following that J6 thing, and you see so many Republicans getting bullied into, well, I don't want to, And she's like, no, that means she really believed that these folks cheated. She's connecting with the majority of Trump supporters who are saying, yeah, I'm glad we got somebody who's saying, yeah, That was a bunch of bull crap that went on, and she didn't back up off of it. That was her last ditch effort. Caitlin Collins, she figured if she could tie her to that, put her in an awkward situation, she might be able to turn the fight. And she didn't take the bait. She leaned into it. Yep. That's the way you diffuse a bunch of stuff. When people like think they got you on something and you embrace it. Yeah. It's like if I ran for, office or something, people come up, you know what, I heard in the sixth grade you got into a fight in the middle of the classroom because somebody wiped a booger on your jacket. And you said that fighting is wrong. Well, yeah, fighting is wrong, but he wiped a booger on my jacket, so yeah, I beat him up. Next question. Yeah, you lean into it. They're like, wow, we didn't expect him to be so candid. We thought he was going to dodge that and be like, oh, what? I thought it was something else. I thought it was a nuclear bomb on my back, and I just no, lean into it. Yeah, he wiped the booger on me. I beat him up. What? Yeah, kids never fight. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think every kid should get in a couple squabbles every once in a while. Toughens them up. Next question. They're like, what do we do with that? We expected them. Yeah. So she didn't dodge it. So you're right. I didn't like it. I wouldn't have voted for it. I wouldn't have did what raggedy behind Mike Pence did. And she right now, if Trump picked her for VP, I would be like, there's a couple people I would be like, but she's on the list. She's on the list. With that right there made me go, yeah, man. We got the right one, baby.
I think that was the right approach. I specifically stand by what I said on the House floor, and I stand by my statement, which was there was unconstitutional overreach. There was unconstitutional overreach in states like Pennsylvania, and I think it's very important that we continue to stand up for the Constitution and have legal and secure elections, which we did not have in 2020. And the tens of millions of Americans agree with me, Caitlin.
Oh, man. See, this is what these Republicans got to understand. The people have your back. Don't let these people scare you into thinking that if you stand up for truth and say what's on your mind, that the folks that's thinking the same thing you're thinking, for some reason is gonna, I can't support this person. This right here makes me go, darn right. I was thinking the same thing. Same thing. You just made me say, I will go to war with you. Go to war with you. Yeah. Yeah, you didn't twitch, you didn't flinch at that question. You embraced it. You said, yep, it was a lot of stuff going on. Don't think you're going to scare me by threatening to label me as an insurrectionist or a J6 sympathizer and all the crap they try to do. All of a sudden, they're trying to use McCarthyism on you. Aren't you like kind of a traitor to your country, if you believe? All the stupid stuff we've been seeing for the last 2.5 years.
I would say the Supreme Court in the state of Pennsylvania said that Republican passed changes to their law was constitutional. But it's notable to hear you say, given you're in the running to be the vice president, that you would have rejected those votes. Come this election, when Vice President Harris is in that position, would you be okay if she rejected the vote?
Oh, she tried to get her with another switch up. You see it? She's building her case. 1, do you want to be VP? Oh, you do? Okay, cool. 2, what would you have done on J6 if you was Pence? Oh, so you saying that you wouldn't have certified it. Okay, so now that you used that answer, I got another one for you. Because see, I was waiting on you to say that. I was hoping you would have a backbone and say that. Yeah, I thought I was training for this, because this was my only style right here, my only technique. So I'm going to go ahead and try to throw one last lazy punch. Like, okay, what if nasty behind stinking cackling Chameleon Harris decides not to certify the election? Would you be okay with that?
If Donald Trump wins?
Listen, we need to make sure the election is constitutional and legal. We're talking about Democrats. Legal. It was not, Caitlin. It was unconstitutional when there was circumventing state legislatures unilaterally changing election law. I stand by my statement on the House floor. And again, tens of millions of Americans agree with that statement and have questions about the validity
But CNN don't care about them tens and millions of people. They don't care if they got 5 or 6 people watching CNN at this point. They're like, it's we're going down with the dang on liberal narrative. That's what we're gonna do. We don't care if we lose everybody, all our viewers. I don't care if we're labeled fake news. They will never be looked at again the same after Trump labeled them, you are fake news. I mean, that is going to stick with them until they shut that raggedy network down. So now she's trying to pretend that millions of folks didn't see what we saw. And this is the problem with this whole last election thing in 2020. They're trying to make us think that we didn't see all of the stuff we saw, and y'all want us to focus on Trump. He denied the election, and you know what? He knew he lost it. How did he know that? Because I'm sitting there going, well, I mean, I'm not Trump. I'm not sitting in his circle, but I didn't think that Biden won either. It has nothing to do with what Trump said. It has something to do with what my eyes saw. It has something to do with all of these folks willing to testify under oath that there was cheating. It has something to do with you guys boarding up windows and shutting down voting locations in the middle of the night when you're losing and wake up the next day and you won somehow. It has something to do with that. It has something to do with that camera that caught them people in Georgia spending the night swiping, boarding up windows. It has something to do with that. It has something to do with the fact COVID came in out of nowhere and y'all change up all of this stuff and then decide we're going to go and collect it. Millions of ballots instead of having people come in and actually, do their vote in person. But no, she wants us to think that, well, that was the most cleanest, most secure election, and there's nothing to question.
Republicans are so in doubt about the election.
No, because the American people have rightful questions on the constitutionality.
Because Republicans are
and
so in doubt
let me
about
say this for you.
Look, you hear her still mumbling under her breath as she's barely coherent after getting beat half to death. Laying there on the road. See, hard to talk when your jaw's missing. What did you say? She's on autopilot right now. She's that boxer that got knocked out, but you see him still doing this on the ground, still punching, thinking they're still in the fight. That's what she is. Just mumbling anything she can. Yeah, can't even hear you. Yeah, because your jaw's missing.
When it comes to this election, we're seeing the Democrats trying to remove President Trump from the ballot. That is not constitutional. That is not a legal and safe, secure election.
Yeah,
that's literally what's being discussed at the Supreme Court today because radical leftists can't stand the fact that Donald Trump continues to skyrocket in the polls and Joe Biden continues to plummet. And when you get outside of CNN, if you get outside of CNN and talk to hardworking American people like in my district, like across this country, they want to see new leadership in President Trump, and that's why he's going to win.
Wow, beautifully done. So long as you step in that funky joint CNN, you'll never, ever know what all the millions of people are thinking because see, your job is to change the minds of all of the millions of people who see this. We see it and we're like, man, double standards, all of this crap. Joe Biden's mentally messed up and y'all trying to make us think he's fine. We see a two-tier justice system. You're trying to say no. We see an open border. You're trying to say nope. All of this stuff we see. Your job is not to see what we see. Your job is to make us see what y'all want us to see. And we refuse. And see, Stefanik is sticking with the people. She's like, you're not going to get me to sell out to your raggedy narratives and bully me and try to use your fake news tactics to back me up. I'm going to go out on your turf, come to your own home turf, and beat you to death. So that last statement, after Collins has been knocked out, laying in the middle of the ring, shadow boxing in the REM sleep with no jaw, Collins decide to get up on the top rope, and it ain't even big time wrestling, but just for good keepings, Jimmy Superfly the Snooker right on top of her. There you go. Get up, dust her hands off, and wipe her feet on Collins before she get out the ring. And I appreciate it every bit. And I allow it. As the ref, I allow that. That right there was a legal move in boxing. Are you sure? I don't know. I just let it go because, I really want to see Caitlin Collins get stomped. And did she ever? She should go somewhere, stick her head in a doghouse like on Bugs Bunny, and let Foghorn Leghorn come along and grab her by her butt and swat her. I say that girl's got a mouth like a bowling ball right now because that jaw right now looks like a bowling ball because for two reasons. One, it's big, and two, it got beat up all night. Had to get rewired. She's sitting somewhere like, oh man, I got to drink through a straw because Stefanik knocked my jaw off. That's what happened. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. I had to get through that fight. I had to, man. I was like, oh yeah. After I saw that one, I was like, oh, this one's a good one. I gotta talk about this. I gotta narrate this one. See, I know the style. Somebody laughing about the foghorn leghorn. Wasn't he a mess? Gotta love foghorn. Yeah, zippity doo dah. He was great, man. I say, that boy's about as sharp as a bowling ball. Got a mouth like a cannon and always shooting it off. Listen to me, boy, when I'm talking. Look, pay attention, boy. He was great. Good old Foggy. Anyway, that's when cartoons was good. They were funny. Nowadays, you know what? That's misappropriation. Why does he talk with a southern accent? And why is it? It'd be a whole bunch of that garbage. But anyway, I still talk about it on my show. Now, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. We will be back here tomorrow at 7 o'clock where I finish the rest of this, where I will be exposing some more of this garbage. Yep, there it is. We're going to start off with the cope. Their cope is a joke because they're trying to cope with this whole Joe Biden thing, but it's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious to see them trying to cope, man. I'd be like, ooh, you can't cope. Yeah, it's bad, man. They can't cope. So with that being said, we'll be back here at 7 o'clock tomorrow, same time, same place. I told y'all I'm sticking as close as I can to 1 hour. And yeah, I'm going to do it. I can do it. I start having too much fun laughing at these Democrats and then get carried away. Look at that. Wow. How does time fly? Man, sheesh. Boy, I could talk about these Democrats all night. But I'm going to discipline myself. So please hit the like button, share my videos, subscribe to my alternative channel, please. And then also follow me on Rumble. And don't forget, check out the store, Kevin's Corner Store. Buy some stuff, please. And if you want to support the channel through my monthly fundraiser, the link is below this video. And thanks to all those who gave in the super chat. Thanks to all of those to do anything in regards to helping the channel grow. Simply even watching it, just watching my shows, hanging out with me, all of that stuff helps. And maybe one day we'll see a moment or a time in history where the man finally get off my back. I should start using Mayor Conehead, Brandon Johnson's narratives. They're on my back because I'm black. That means leave me alone, YouTube. I thought y'all liked black people. That's right. There's equity and all of that stuff. No, they don't care about that. Yeah, they want to tell you they do, but hey, all of that stuff goes out the window when you're a black conservative. You know how it is. They're like, well, he's not like the rest of the blacks. He's not mad and angry for nothing. He's not talking about reparations and stuff. And he's not always looking through the lens of racism. So he's not like rest of them blacks. Makes me sick, man. Anyway, so we'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. Now, let me see if I can get to my theme music so y'all don't see what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Yeah, there it is right there. Oh, almost forgot the number, 330-974-4607. And the cameo appearance by you-know-who. Yeah, there he is. There he is. What are you doing, Gizmo? What's Gizmo doing? Yeah, you're looking at the people. Yeah, it looks like he's nodding off. It's always funny. Right at the end of the show, he gets drowsy. That's right. Oh, you can find Gizmo in the store, too. He got some gear, some merch. Somehow, he done hijacked my store and got some merch. So you can get some of his stuff, too. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Let's bounce. Kev got to get some nourishment, man. Got another early morning get up. Get me sick. Oh, shit. Yeah. See y'all tomorrow. Kev's Corner. Take care. Come on.